Welcome to the next lab discussion video in support of the complete PAC Learn series and introduction to RS5000, creating a new project found on roughly pages 23 and 24. This was a real short one. Welcome back to the next section of Introduction to RS5000 using lab projects and examples. And in this section, we're going to create the first project. So we're going to create a new project, and we're going to use a 1769 L35E, which is a processor that has an RS-232 port and an Ethernet IP port. Ethernet IP, industrial protocol, is different than TCP type Ethernet. That's a subject for another day, not this lab. So create a new project with Compact Logics. On your desktop, you want to create a new folder and name it Learn RS5000. Actually, you can name it anything you want, but this is going to be a folder that you're going to direct your files to. Otherwise, they'll go to the root directory to, I think, a folder called RSLogix 5000 and then a subfolder called Projects. You can do that if you want. I typically create a folder to put them in. And then sometimes I forget where the folder is at and they go anywhere. But you can do better than me. You can create a folder and keep them going in that direction. So we open RSLogix 5000. So you created this folder, right? You're going to save them in. Now open 5000. Go to File, New. Now it already shows an L45. That's because that's the last thing that I picked. So you go to the drop-down list. If you go all the way to the top, you can see first you have the L60 series, and then you have the 70 series, which are the newest ControlLogix processors. So this bad boy right here is the bad boy. L43 is a dumbed-down version of the 45. So we're going to go pick an L35E. Right there, L35E. For revision, an L35E is supported by these four versions. Well, these are the only four I have loaded. But if I had other versions and they didn't support an L35E, they shouldn't show up here. So we're going to pick 20. We'll pick the newest one. And you're going to give it a name. And I call it template. You can call it anything you want. I don't even remember now why I call it template in the manual, but that's what we'll do. Now browse and point the file to the folder that you created on your desktop. So see, this is the default folder, and you can go ahead and leave that. It'll still work fine. So I just wanted to show you something, Learn RS5000. So I select that. Now you see that path is in there. Okay? So that's everything right there to selecting or creating a new project. When I hit OK, all the magic takes place. Do you want to replace it? Yes. See, I already had that file in my folder. I should have went and deleted that folder so I had a fresh start just like you all would have. So you wouldn't get that message unless this was the second time you did this lab. Okay, there you have it. It's all created for you. You didn't create any of this. So this is the Project Explorer. Now we'll scroll down here a little bit so you can see under I/O configuration, backplane, we have the processor, we have the Ethernet card, and we have the compact bus for the backplane for the I/O modules. Now we selected Compact Logic 1769 because they are the most prevalent in the field. Just the other day I saw an L31 online with a starting bid of $57, and I'm sure it didn't sell for that. But I've seen L30s for $250 or best offer. I've seen a 1769 PA2, that's the power supply, for $150. A 6-in and 4-out I/O card for $65. End caps for $40, and there you have your whole system. So exploring the controller organizer. Starting at the top, you have the controller tags. And if I open that up, there's nothing in there. Because guess what? We don't have any controller tags yet because we have not added any I/O. So I'll close that again. And then next of interest, we have the main task. And you see the little clockwise swirly? That means it's the continuous task, and you only have one continuous task. And then under the task, you have a program, and under the programs, you have a main routine. So this is where the logic would start for the main program. And the main routine, you see this little, it looks like a little sheet of paper with a corner bent over and says 1. That identifies it as the main routine. The text doesn't. I can rename that and call it Funkdoodle. It's still the main routine named Funkdoodle. So main routine only means the routine that executes automatically in the run mode. All other routines, you have to put logic in the main routine to jump to those other routines. If you want to call them subroutines, you're welcome to. They're just routines. And you can make any routine the main routine. It's simply a matter, if you have two routines here, one's called Funkdoodle and the other's called Murphy's Law, and you go into the configuration for the main program, you can't see it, but I went down the bottom of the screen and picked Properties, Configuration, see? The main routine, we're going to just use the one name main routine. There's nothing else to pick from. Okay. And then program tags. So here's tags up here, controller tags, and here's tags, program tags. These tags are memory locations that are accessible, read and write, to all the tasks, all the programs in all the tasks, and all the routines in all the programs in all the tasks. But these program tags right here, we'll double click, there's nothing there, we haven't added any yet. These tags are only accessible to the routines in this program. Now it's called the main program, but you can rename it anything you want. Monkey Shines if you like, or Day at the Zoo. Name it to your heart's content. I think that covers that. We'll close all that up just to make more space here vertically. Okay, after that we have no motion groups because we haven't created any motion yet. That'll be in Volume 2, Motion. Add-on instructions also in Volume 2. But if we had add-on instructions, you could right-click here. Well, actually, there would be a plus sign right here, and you could expand it, and it would display your add-on instructions. You don't have any. So you can create a new one, or you can import one from outside the project. That's a very common practice. Okay, data types. User-defined data types, UDTs, your opportunity to get creative. You can create your own data types. You're probably thinking, well, what's a data type? Well, we have a lab project called data types, and we explain that in detail. Well, I'll just show you something real quick. If we go to predefined and we scroll down to one that everybody's familiar with, timer, double click. This is the template. This is the data structure for the data structure that supports a timer instruction. Okay? And the name of this data type is timer. It's a timer data type. Notice this is all grayed out. You can't change this. You can't do anything with this. This is just for you to look at so you can see the structure of a timer data type. You have a preset, accumulate, enable, timer, timing, and done bit. Okay, so that's what a predefined data type is. And there's many of them. Then there's module defined. Nothing will show up here. See, there's no plus sign. Nothing will show up here until you actually start adding modules. You'll see this in the project. Then, of course, trends. We have no trends, and here's our I/O configuration. This is your data neighborhood right here, folks. This is your data neighborhood. And any data that makes its way into the memory of your controller is going to come from one of these locations. You could say this is your memory right here. This is your controller. And all data, right now at least, is going to come from Ethernet or come from the compact bus local, or it can come in the front of this processor through the RS-232 port. So that is creating a new project. Thank you for watching. Creating a new project from Volume 1 of An Introduction to RS-5000.